I'm not really mad that Diddy going to jail potentially, or he's sitting in jail because he got Biggie hit.
You think?
I believe that. I still,
You
bro.
think it's a conspiracy?
Nah, bro. Put this way, they don't know who did it. So until they find out who actually did it, Diddy did it. Fuck that.
You plan to say that?
But I say that because I think he did, and I think he did it because
Did he do it?
Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy, and if we go
so many times,
and if we go based off of like all the stuff that you've been hearing about Diddy as of in the past year, he's one of those people. He's a control freak. You're not gonna leave me.
Yeah.
Oh, word? Bet. Like, for example, this nigga willing to blow up a nigga car.
the Kid Cudi shit.
Yeah, he willing to blow up a nigga car. What makes you think he not willing to hit his own artist?
So is that whole thing legit about him blowing up Kid Cudi's
I think
car?
that's confirmed actually, because Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi.
What prompted that?
I just said it. Cassie was seeing Kid Cudi, like they were like into each other while Cassie was dating Diddy, and then Diddy just having all these probably connections and power was like, nigga, fuck this, I'm gonna basically blow up this nigga's car. And then Kid Cudi confirmed that it was true, and I think Cassie like put it on her like.
I'm curious
whatever the fuck lawsuit thing.
Why it took so long for that to be a crime that he committed.
The car thing?
Yeah, because that happened back in like 2016 or something. That happened a while ago, and now all of a sudden it's in a charge. And I'm like, wait.
Probably because the shit's getting popular, and then how.
But why y'all ain't trying to take him down for arson?
That's a good question.
Up back then when it happened.
I don't know if there's necessarily enough proof. Maybe.
I mean, there wasn't proof. How you get proof now?
Who knows? I don't know what the fucking federal government is doing, bro.
That nigga been rocking for this long. This nigga is the Joker, literally.
You know how that shit goes with crime. It's like they. At the time, if nothing's really out about the nigga, like she probably feels like, her and Kid Cudi probably feel, I can't say shit. Like he has all this money, he's gonna. But once this shit comes out and it's kind of open,
yeah.
Because like remember that Bill Cosby shit, like fucking a couple things started coming out, then out of nowhere, like all these women, and mind you, not all of it may be true, but
yeah.
They maybe feel they have a comfortable sense to be like, oh, okay, I'm good to,
I mean, that nigga Bill.
They don't want to get that back.
Well, I guess when it comes to this whole Diddy thing, it's like, okay, what is true and what's not true? Because there's a lot of different, like, obviously you started with the whole Lil Rod thing and all that bullshit. There's so much bullshit that's going out with all this shit. It's like, is this some of his money grabs?
Yeah.
Or is most of it true?
I mean, well, so as far as like the whole indictment, a lot of it is just based off of what is it? It's kind of more based off of sex trafficking. That's the main thing they're trying to get him with, sex trafficking.
Correct.
They pushing that agenda heavily. So if they can push the sex trafficking agenda and get him for that, because that's what I feel like they have the most like evidence on, as far as trying to be very strict on like what sex trafficking is. Not even because there's cushion to, that's not really sex trafficking. He just paid some people, they came out and they did whatever they did. Mm-hmm. Nah, they said, well, this is what we know we could get you on because we could just follow the law really strictly. We gonna get you on it because we want you out, but we don't have that much evidence on any of the other stuff, and we can't charge you for the whole Cassie thing in the hotel because the statute of limitations. Mm-hmm. So
that's not, even if he did get charged, it's not enough to put him away for life.
But I'm saying that's why they're trying to use the freak offs as like a way to get him. Because they don't have anything else.
I know y'all notice a lot of celebrities have came out and kind of defending this nigga Diddy.
Yeah, I see.
Maybe not defending him, but maybe kind of just like, why is this nigga getting arrested for being freaky?
As they should. They should defend him.
So why you say that?
Why do I say that? I said they should defend him because, yes, he may do freaky ass shit, but that doesn't mean he committing crimes, bro. You know how many celebrities are out here doing exactly what he's doing, but yet they're not in. Not to mention, bro, just because now all of a sudden there's allegations coming out, people are saying, like he drugged them and X, Y, and Z, but weren't you taking the drugs? I don't believe, like, there's no proof. Like, my thing is, you can't prove that he drugged anybody at all. That there's no evidence. You can't prove that, he made me take these drugs. No, you willingly took the drugs.
We don't know.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
So as a black person, if they're defending him, I feel like there's like, of course, yes, he's not that great of a person because the whole Cassie video, you've seen it. We've heard stories about it.
And I'm putting that aside. I'm just talking about just the case itself, because this is the thing.
Well, gotta realize, she's the foundation of this case.
I hear you. I'm saying, but just that, I'm saying that
she was
video,
forcing the shit.
That video or her side, whatever. All I'm saying is just, you got to think, this is a racketeering case or whatever. You got a racketeering charge in there. The feds have been sitting on this nigga. That takes time to build. So this is years and years of things. So all I'm saying is, and there's a 98% conviction rate with the feds. Yeah. It's not no state case like Young Thug shit. This is him legit going against the federal government. So there's definitely got to be something there that prompted this. It's not like they just like, oh, this nigga's freaky, so we're gonna go ahead and. Usually,
you guys know the like in-depth story of what he was doing.
Why you know?
I just read it briefly, and I want to ask you, like, is there anything else? Because what I read was, okay, Cassie, they started like, having the freak offs or whatever, which is what you guys were saying. Maybe they were drugging these people, maybe they weren't. But then with the human trafficking, I heard Diddy would bring these like male whatever prostitutes, and then he would be basically on some cuck shit, like in the corner, like just jerking off while all these dudes come in and like fucking rail her. And I don't know if she didn't want to do that from the start, or I think maybe she did it once just to appease him, but then after a while she was like, at one point she was just like, yo, what the fuck, like I'm not doing this, and then he just forcibly was like, no, like, bitch, you gonna do this, and got like violent, like threw her, like did just maybe hit her and shit like that, and like, you gonna do this, and then maybe drugged her, maybe or not, but she was under the influence of this. So it was like some forcible bringing trafficking, basically, because these prostitutes coming in doing a forcible act. So, and that's been going on for a while. So that's fucked up if that's true.
I mean,
so, if it's
there's so many stories, because I'm hearing like
that's the main thing I heard.
I'm hearing sides like, as far as like that point he just made, is that these escorts are saying everything was consensual. It was nothing forced. Like, I'm just feeding off what you're saying. Like, that's what I've heard, mixed stories about that.
My thing is, to prove. At one point though, she was like stop, and then he was like forcing that shit. So that's where it gets kind of tricky.
But that's what I'm saying. You need proof for all these. Is the whole case, in my opinion, a lot of the cases, he say, she say, because it's like,
that's the thing.
Because this is why I said they're trying to use.
And maybe she was running away from the infamous video. Maybe she was running away from that shit. Like, that could have been a part of that, of the human trafficking shit. I mean, try to run away, beat the fuck out of her, like that type of thing.
So a bunch of stuff that they're saying. So one thing I did see the other day about exactly that point is that Diddy's lawyer saying that it was only him and her in that hotel room, but then she's saying there was somebody else in that room.
Right. Of course his lawyer's gonna say that.
So it's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, well, what do you want us to believe? Because there's so many sides to the story. Who knows what to believe? And for me, I feel like as a black person, I feel like as far as like what they're trying to do to him, you have to defend him. Because if you think about like Weinstein got a bail. Why
Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah. Why Diddy don't get a bail? Like, yes, they're trying to say he doesn't get a bail because of the whole intimidating witness thing and X, Y, and Z, but Harvey Weinstein got just as much power to do exactly that, but he's out. And then, yes, he died in prison, but like he was able to get a bail.
It don't have anything to do with the with. I get you trying to compare two things. I hear you.
And he did worse crimes.
It's not about the crime itself. Diddy would have probably gotten bail. The thing is that he was already contacting witnesses before this thing even materialized.
Well,
that's why they were like, "Oh fuck!"
And that's the tricky part.
The judge made his own decision to say, "Yo, nigga, you already was contacting people before. So now that you got charges already, now that you're indicted, you got charges against you. I can't imagine what the fuck you're gonna do. That's that. So I would feel better about you just staying in jail."
See, that's the tricky part, because it's like. That's why I said, bro, there's so many stories like circulating, because
I don't be buying that. I'm not buying that.
Because they're saying like, yo, the witness like reached out to him, and then he may have called her X amount of times, but he's saying that witness is on his side. Like, yo, like he didn't do that.
At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter.
You
can't contact witnesses, so I'm not gonna get into the whole.
I mean, the witness is on his side. So
I got you. I'm saying
the witness contacted them, and since that witness contacted them, she's now saying she contacted him, so she's saying the story on his side. He didn't contact her.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does, because she can still contact the lawyer.
He shouldn't be having contact with the witnesses. That's what I'm trying to say. So the judge is going to make that decision. It doesn't even matter. Anyway, my point being is that the nigga's in jail. He probably going to be sitting there for like another fucking
I'm gonna say a year.
It's gonna be at least a year. He's gonna be in there.
And it could be faster. They can get a speedy trial.
I guess we'll see what happens.
I want to read the indictment. Axe said he posted a link on there.
It's 124 pages.
I just want to skim through it.
124 pages.
Because I feel like there's more to just the bringing prostitutes in and cucking and all that.
I mean, well, so
it has to be more than that.
No,
that's not illegal.
That's what I know.
So it's sex trafficking, racketeering, arson. There's a couple other things, but like I said, the freak offs is the main focus in the case, and they said it.
Correct.
Freak off. So they're trying to use the fact that he was flying escorts across state lines against him. But the thing is, I'm paying these people to come do something that they want to actively come do, and we're doing whatever we do in the bedroom. That is not a crime, and that's what his lawyer's trying to state. We had these people come to these different places, so it's like, think about it this way. If you fly a couple girls out from, I don't know, let's say California to come have a threesome with you, are you now sex trafficking because you're paying them to come do? But that's not sex trafficking. That's not, because they're willingly coming to do a service.
It's prostitution.
But it's not that, because we're gonna hang out, we're gonna do everything. It's none of that.
You're saying if there's money is exchanged?
Yeah, because I'm flying you out. We're coming out. We doing whatever. We're having a good time. That's not prostitution. That's not sex trafficking. That's nothing.
That's not prostitution?
No.
It's
I mean, for the girl,
textbook definition.
Technically it is, but if you meet a girl online and you buy a plane ticket and you fly her out, that's not.
I was talking about if there's actual money involved.
I mean, but
other than the flying out part.
Well, that part, I mean, that's more than likely off the books. It
doesn't matter if it's off the books.
No,
It's still money involved. What does he mean?
If we all consent and I pause, like with a girl, and then I like exchange money, and then I put that's prostitution.
Okay, so I take it, Jamaree, you think Diddy's innocent?
I'm not gonna say I think he. Actually, yes, I do believe he's innocent in some of the things in that's presented in the case. Now, all of it, no. But like this whole sex trafficking shit, I believe he's innocent. I don't like. Yeah, he may be a freaky ass nigga, but that's it. Like, damn, I can't be freaky. Like, I don't know why that's a crime. Like, bro, this is the issue that I have with like the whole Bill Cosby shit. Like, you actively took the drugs, and now all of a sudden you like, oh, I didn't do it. I was forced to do it.
How do we know that though?
But my thing is, bro, so if you go based off of a lot of shit that you've heard about Diddy, it was one of those things where he would.
That's what I was trying to say. He would,
but we don't know. But what I'm saying is,
why are you making that accusation?
When you've heard all the things about Diddy, you always heard, oh, you're either gonna do this or you're just gonna, like, for example, if you wanted a record deal and you went to Diddy's crib and he wanted you to have a freak off with him, and he was like, nah, well, you just not gonna get the record deal. So you have to try a little bit harder to get bigger. So he gave you an ultimatum. You didn't have to do it. You chose to do it. You chose to do these things because you wanted the fame. You wanted the glamour, the glitz. Like, you wanted all of this. Now, all of a sudden, you like, I didn't really want to do it, so why'd you do it? Like, that's where we got to be grown and actually think. Like, you had two options. You didn't have to do it. You could have left when the party ended. You stayed. No one forced you to stay. When everyone else walked out that front door, you could have walked out that front door. You chose to stay because you felt like, oh, the fame, the money, maybe I'm going to stay. Okay. And then you stayed. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I didn't really want to stay. He drugged me. But Diddy, you actively stayed. You actively took the drugs and you participated. You got what you wanted. Now you're saying this happened. The whole women beating thing, that's a whole totally different but I'm talking specifically sex trafficking. That's where I'm confused. I don't get how you can now say he forced me to do this when you had the options. It was always options. You could have walked out the door when the party ended. You stayed. You chose to stay. These were always options.
And that gets in that conversation of, you know, how when women are in like abusive relationships, like, you know, the shit like, oh, I can leave whenever I want, blah blah blah, and some women can't. So it might have been.
It's called Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Where it's
so
like,
maybe she can't leave that easily. So
like
there's rebuttals to everything.
Yeah. You
know, and we never know.
This is the thing. There's been so much different shit. I'm a firm believer in where there's smoke, there's fire. So do I think that? And I got to read through the actual indictment of everything to kind of.
I know you're gonna say, yeah. There's so many things. Yeah. Like at least one of it has to be true.
Yeah, I'm like, do I think that Diddy is guilty of every single thing? Maybe not. But all I'm gonna say is, when you start hearing enough things from enough different places over an extended period of time, you kind of got to think something is interesting here, because the feds don't just go after somebody just be like, because they're like, oh well, we heard a couple things about this or that and about some people going to his parties and getting drunk. It's got to be more to it than that. So that's I'll just leave it at that.
That's why I said they're trying to be very strict on the law.
Yeah,
because they're like, well, we gonna get you on something.
Now, check me out. I'm not saying that Diddy's the only one who's guilty of this. I'm not saying that he's the only one out there in the industry. We know that. So that is a given. All I'm saying is that right now he's the one who's getting caught up in all this bullshit because he's facilitating things. Clearly, there's been some things that's happened over these years. So now we'll see what comes to light and if he can prove himself innocent.
That's why it looks like that's probably why all these CEOs slipping down.